Hi there. Welcome. Welcome to a brand new week. And here's a thought. The most important things in life are the connections you make with others. That's from the designer Tom Ford. So, what's new? Well, lots and nothing, kind of the story of 2021 if you're like me. But today, it's all about the precious word, connection. I think I made a new friend in the neighborhood yesterday. I was out walking Rosie, and a woman was on her lawn raking up the pine needles and cones from a recent windstorm. And we got talking dogs because she has a Shih Tzu. And then I learned that her husband probably plays hockey with my Rob, and likely that recreational hockey won't be returning because she's in the healthcare system. And then she said that maybe when COVID is over, we'd get together. Um, okay, it didn't sound quite as flaky as that. It wasn't like, yeah, maybe. But let me just say that I was so excited about that concept that I was gushing when I got home to tell Rob all about it because it felt like, being the new kid in school, which I was so often, and having a nice girl ask me to share lunch with her. So that's how good that felt. Earlier in the day yesterday, there was another kind of connection. My three sisters and I, one of whom, Cindy, was celebrating her birthday, and you can see a picture of her in my written journal at erindavis.com. We all had a video connection. Now, Cindy is pretty amazing, and if you know her story from my book, you know that she has lived with lupus for well over 30 years, but she keeps going, and recently she took up the harp. And of course, she did so well with it that she was performing solos in her orchestra's pre-Christmas concert last year, safely distanced. So, yeah, we're really, really proud of Cindy and all of the inherent challenges that her life has included. She and her husband moved a few years ago to a community of Canadians and Americans in a place called Ajijic, which actually sounds a bit like a little bit of gas, but no, it's called Ajijic in Mexico. And so she learned Spanish. And Cindy does a ton of puzzles. Often she'll finish them and it'll turn out that there were a couple of pieces missing. But boy, if that isn't life, I don't know what is. But our video meetup was not without bumps. We got, I think, kicked off at least two or three different formats of, let's see, there was airtime and there was Zoom and Google Meets or whatever that is. And one of us would keep getting bumped out, and so we try something else. So when all was said and done, we'd had a great visit, lots of talk about Dad and keeping his spirits up. And to that end, my sister Leslie, who has a food delivery company that she and her husband have started in Kelowna called Better Call Paul, we've agreed she's going to be delivering some meals to Dad once a week to him and his girlfriend to try and keep things interesting. And also to keep things interesting for Dad, Rob and I are promising that we're going to take a road trip next year, God and COVID willing. We'll go to the mainland, pick him up in Kelowna, and then go on to his native Alberta to make a few visits. He is so pining for his car. What I really think is that he's just wishing that he could get out and do stuff. Of course, there's a bus that takes them where they need to go and that sort of thing, but he's still wishing that he had his keys. And we're still grateful that as he approaches 88, he doesn't, so that he doesn't inadvertently or advertently, I don't know, is that a word, break any rules. Because so far his residence has been COVID-free to the best of his and our knowledge, and we all just want to keep it that way. I wish that we could have a video chat with Dad like this, but he just doesn't really seem interested in the technology. He sees two of my sisters, Leslie and Heather, on a fairly regular basis. And Cindy lives in another country. So we're on an island and we just make the best of our phone chats. And we're grateful even to have that technology, quite honestly. Speaking of grateful and technology, if you tried to get into the Zoom chat that I had last week to launch Sarah Rose's book, So Now What? One Foot in Front of the Other, and you were unable or you didn't have time, I have linked to that chat about her writing, her musical influences, her life, her book, and her rocky journey through the mental health system in Ontario. Sarah is beautiful both inside and out, and if you would like to see that chat, it is up on my written journal, so please go there. I hope you've enjoyed our time together here today. I have. And guess what? By the next time that I have a journal, which should be Thursday, there will be a new president in the U.S. Oh, how good it feels even to say those words. May it all go smoothly and well. And may your week go smoothly and well too. And I'll talk to you again on Thursday. Thanks for coming by.